Watch this. The Homestead Act. Beginning in 1865, 250 million acres of land, nearly the size of California and Texas combined, were given away to whites, many of whom who actually participated in the Southern Confederate Rebellion against America. Blacks who had worked this land for generations as slaves and fought for America in the Union Army were not allowed to receive any of it. It says this is akin to giving Al-Qaeda members choice land in Manhattan while telling U.S. soldiers to go to hell. As many as 640 free acres for each white family. That's an acre being about the size of a football field, and 640 acres being about 1 square mile were simply snatched from the natives and given to whites. The Southern Homestead Act of 1866 opened up 46 million acres in 5 southern states for the millions of ex-slaves and Union veterans, but only about 1,000 blacks ever received title to that land, which most often consisted of uncleared woodlands or refuse tracts of the poorest quality. In reality, the United States government never intended to give land, the foundation of true freedom, to any of its former slaves. The plan was for blacks to be given the opportunity to buy 40-acre lots after working the land for 3 years. And though some ex-slaves were settled on 40-acre farms, the land was quickly seized by whites and quote unquote restored to the former slaveholders. European immigrants were granted beneficiaries, y'all listen, of this quote legal land snatch, while the black ex-slaves who had actually worked that land for generations and the Indians who actually owned it were kept far away, Indians being the native blacks and others that ended up being, what's called redskin natives, were kept far away from this unprecedented giveaway. Are y'all hearing me? It is estimated that the wealth of 46 million white families is based on this and other government for whites only land grab program. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. What did I just say to you? It is estimated that the wealth of 46 million white families is based on this and other government for whites only land grab programs. How many of you all heard about the FHA, the Farmers Home Administration? This is for whites only, FWO. At the end of legal slavery in 1865, y'all know I'm the break down receipts like nobody. At the end of the legal slavery in 1865, blacks were concentrated in the agricultural sector of America. They were more likely than whites to own farms, black folks that is, though they held less acreage and had poorer quality tracts of land. Despite this reality, the Farmers Home Administration, the FHA, was set up in 1930 to give loans and subsidies to white farmers to sustain and maintain their operations. To achieve this unstated racist purpose, the FHA allowed local whites to operate the program, and they, not the federal government, decided who would get those critical benefits. As a result, black-owned farms, unable to compete with the well-subsidized and well-financed white farms, failed dramatically from about 900,000 in 1930 to 682,000 in 1939. Many of the whites used the government money to modernize by buying tractors and evicting black sharecroppers. Congress amended the law to say that half of the money should go to those tenant farmers, but the landowners simply stole the farmers' payments, claiming, if asked, that debts were owed. In 1964, a study found that every program administered by the U.S. Department of Agriculture was rife with racial discrimination. The federal loans from the USDA were used by local white administrators to retaliate against black farmers for their support of civil rights efforts or for simply voting or attempting to vote, right? Stephen Jackson, even though he's relevant here too. Stephen Jackson. Working hard or hardly working. The fact is that since the end of legalized slavery, whites have cunningly employed every mechanism of government, religion, and private enterprise, specifically to hamstring Black prospects for success, and some of America's institutionalized injustices were devilishly ingenious. All sectors of American society harmonized. Let me say this again for Step and Fetch, Stephen Jackson. All sectors of American society harmonized to institute a series of affirmative action initiatives that gave white people exclusive material advantages, and none have anything whatever to do with either merit or hard work, Stephen. Did you catch that? By gangster force and wily deception, whites aggressively sabotaged Black advancement. They employed domestic terrorism in the form of lynching and mob violence, while simultaneously crafting policies and laws to gift themselves a vast assortment. Listen, Step and Fetch, Stephen. They employed domestic terrorism in the form of lynching and mob violence, while simultaneously crafting policies and laws to gift themselves a vast assortment of privileges, preferences, incentives, subsidies, tax breaks, grants, awards, discounts, exemptions, credits, quotas, deductions, and countless other benefits, hoarding the nation's vast resources along strictly racial lines. Dickie, why are you reading us these examples? I want Step and Fetch to know that everything Rachel earned or had, or he said she deserved, she never deserved it. Just like most white folks, the stuff that they got here, whether they were directly or indirectly related or connected to slavery, they all benefited from it. So nothing that they have, they quote unquote deserve when it comes to America. How dare you, Step and Fetch? All sectors of American society, all sectors of American society, all sectors of American society, all sectors of American society harmonized, in other words, work together to institute a series of affirmative action initiatives that gave white people exclusive material advantages, and none have anything whatever to do with merit or hard work.